I want to go over this video from CNBC. Elon Musk speaks at Saudi-US Investment Forum. After this video, I will be going over the technical analysis, support levels, and resistance levels for Tesla on Webull. And if you guys are interested in that and you don't want to watch this video, feel free to just skip past about 8 minutes through the video. And then here we go. I'm going to go ahead and start this video now from CNBC. And again, after this video, let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments as well, okay?
Now, I'm sure we can do a better welcome than that to Elon Musk in Saudi Arabia. There you go. That's the spirit.
Thank you.
Elon, my dear friend, we're honored to have President Trump. We're honored under the sponsorship and guidance of His Royal Highness to celebrate a U.S.-Saudi and a Saudi-U.S. relationship that is 92 years old, about how we move from an oil-based economy to an innovation-based economy powered by wonderful technologies that definitely you're one of the pioneers in this industry. We just showed to His Royal Highness some of your Optimus robots, and to President Trump. Let's talk about that. Tell me about them.
Yes, so we just showed several of our Tesla Optimus robots to His Highness and President Trump, and I think they were very impressed. In fact, one of our robots did the Trump dance, which I thought was pretty cool.
The YMCA, yeah?
Yeah, to YMCA. So yeah, our robots can dance, they can walk around, they can interact. I think we're headed to a radically different world. I think a good world, an interesting world. My prediction actually for humanoid robots is that ultimately there will be tens of billions. I think everyone will want to have their personal robot. You can think of it like as though you had your own personal C-3PO or R2-D2, but even better. Then who wouldn't want to have their own personal C-3PO, R2-D2? That would be pretty great. I also think it unlocks an immense amount of economic potential, because when you think of like what is the output of an economy, it is productivity per capita times population or capita. Once you have humanoid robots, the actual economic output potential is tremendous. It's really unlimited. Potentially, we could have an economy 10 times the size of the current global economy, where no one wants for anything. Sometimes in AI they talk about universal basic income. I think it's actually going to be universal high income, where anyone can have any goods or services that they want. A science fiction book recommendation that I have, which I think is probably the best envisioning of an AI future, is the culture books by Ian Banks. Very highly recommended for a non-dystopian view of the future. Now, there obviously are some risks, which illustrate perhaps if we don't do this right, you could have like a James Cameron sort of movie, Terminator. We don't want that one. But having sort of a Star Trek future would be great, where we're out there exploring the stars, discovering the nature of the universe, and a level of prosperity and hopefully happiness that we can't quite imagine yet. So I'm very excited about the future, and very glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's our absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
And His Royal Highness was talking to you about his vision and his dream to increase productivity for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and power up the region and the whole world with robotics, but also on robo-taxis. So how are we doing on robo-taxis?
So really you can think of a car or future cars as being robots on four wheels. And I think it would be very exciting to have autonomous vehicles here in the kingdom.
Indeed.
If you're amenable.
You heard it here from Elon. He's bringing his robo-taxi to the kingdom.
Yeah.
He has another announcement that he's going to share.
Exactly. So, and I'd also like to thank the Kingdom for approving Starlink for maritime and aviation use. Thank you.
Maritime and aviation. There you go. There you go.
So
you're going to bring us robots to help us increase our productivity.
Yeah.
Robo-taxis to make sure that our cars and assets turn into a cash-generating unit.
Yeah.
And Starlink to reform our aviation and maritime.
Yeah.
Talk about XAI.
Absolutely. But I should mention also something that may be worth considering is tunnels.
The Boring Company.
I have this company called The Boring Company, which sounds kind of boring, but it literally bores tunnels. And actually, tunnels, in order to solve traffic, you really need to go 3D with roads. And by using tunnels, you can essentially create like a wormhole, like a warp tunnel from one part of a city to another and alleviate traffic. And we've actually already done this proof of concept in Vegas. So there are working tunnels in Las Vegas that you can use where that'll just, it feels like teleporting from one part of Vegas to another. So I always say that, my joke is like tunnels are underappreciated. It's a bit of a, not always a hit, but. Yeah, and then XAI is just trying to solve general purpose artificial intelligence. The goal with XAI is to have a maximally truth-seeking AI. And it's important to be a maximally truth-seeking AI in order to understand the universe. Mm-hmm. So the goal of XAI is understand the universe, to understand what is out there. Where's the universe going? Where did it come from? What questions? In fact, I think maybe the biggest thing is, what questions do we not know to ask? Once you know the question, the answer is usually the easy part. So the goal of XAI is to help understand the universe and that's the goal. And help people answer any questions along the way, of course. But that's my philosophy. My philosophy is one of curiosity, just trying to understand the nature of reality.
So I know you had a long day, but we also have the Honorable President and His Royal Highness Musaidi hitting the stage soon.
Yes.
So this is a historic day, a partnership about how we could join hands together, as we have joined hands in the past 92 years, on building a factor-based economy to help the world and power up 20% of the energy mix, which is very critical today to the AI intelligence age, the digital.
All right, I'm going to pause it there, and let's go ahead and go on to the Webull chart. Let's go ahead and remove this real quick here. And into Webull we go. So I'm going to go over to Tesla, and we are on the daily chart at the moment. And today is May 15, 2025. The current price here is $342 per share, down about 1 to 2%. But as you can see here, during the past couple of weeks, we definitely rose all the way up to this high of 350. Reminder and a recap, if you haven't watched our previous videos, I said anything below the 200-day moving average was a really good dip opportunity. Below 250, I was adding big positions at a time. And then between 250 to 272, small positions would have been fine. I even said if you missed this opportunity, that below 313 or below 295 would be just okay in my personal opinion. And like I said during this summer, possibly even going into May of 2025, we might get a test between 313 and 355. Look what happened here. We broke above 313, looked for support, right? Possible confirmation here that 313 may be a future support level, ranging up towards 355, right? Got pretty close to 350. And then here, a second day here, right after 350, look to see if we can retest 350. Again, 355 there is going to be the major resistance to watch out for. So personally, I wouldn't be surprised if we start to range sideways between 313 and 355. But if we do get this sharp V recovery that Tom Lee was talking about a couple weeks ago, then keep an eye out for 406 to be potentially tested as well. Once we break above 355, I want to see if we can close above 355. Can 355 be a possible support level going into May, June, and July? Possibly ranging up towards 406. From our current price here all the way to 406, that is going to be right around a 16% move, and then the high of all time at 488, which in my opinion during this year of 2025, I do think is going to get tested, and it's going to be an additional 40% move. If we really compare here from 342, it's going to be right around a 42% move. Personally, I don't mind adding a small position now if I had to make an update between 313 and 355. I would rather add a bigger position if we had a bigger pullback down to about 313 to 272. But again, small positions at a time between 313 and 355, I don't mind that, especially if I am long-term holding Tesla. I do anticipate a break above 488, and so don't mind adding down here. Just again, rather be taking advantage of the dip opportunity than, the rally up. Let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments as well, and what your average is for Tesla, or if you're selling covered calls. If you guys don't have a community yet for Tesla, please feel free to join our Discord, link down below in the description. There's over 32,000 people and a dedicated chat section for Tesla as well. Due diligence and technical analysis posted daily, so come on in freely. First link down below. And if you're looking for live entries and exits on stocks and options, this is going to be optional. You can join our Patreon, second link down below in the description. We do have a 90% off discount promotion going on as we're celebrating our 5-year anniversary. It's going to be a permanent discount. Like I said, live entries and exits on stocks and options, including Tesla. Check out the Patreon link, see if we have any open spots available. And if so, feel free to secure it permanently. All right. And again, subscribe, turn on notifications, like the video if you want to support the channel. I will be making more videos on Tesla on a daily basis. We've been calling out the dip here for quite some time, so really happy if anyone took advantage of the dip opportunity now that we are well above the 200-day moving average. Again, really excited. We know that when Tesla runs, it runs really heavily, right? So previously at 138, bit of a bounce to 272, back down and back up all the way to 488. We previously called out Tesla before it ran to 488. Saying between 170 and 180 was a really good time to be loading into Tesla, and then it broke out all the way to 488, right? And then just recently here during the past couple of weeks, I've been mentioning that dip opportunity between 213 to 272. That's where I was personally buying a lot of Tesla shares, and then now all the way back up to where we are currently at 342. So even if I were to just swing trade this would have been a really nice exit point. But if I'm looking to go long term, just keep in mind 488 can be potentially retested there. Still has an additional 42% move towards the upside. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video for Tesla stock.